Peloton dropped over 16% today on some very bad and very sad news. So we will be going over exactly what the news is and the trade that I made today, because this is very much on and alive, and we do have earnings tomorrow and after hours. So I do think this trade could go absolutely crazy. So I really want to give you guys this information as well as go over what this means for the company and what I expect going forward. Now, if you are a long-term investor in Peloton, this is not all doom and gloom. It's actually a buying opportunity if you believe in the company long term. Now, I do not have an investment in this besides the trade that I made today, which we are going to go over in this video. But like I said, it's a buying opportunity, and it is always good to hear the negative in a stock that you do invest in. Also, the trade that I made today was a day trade, and I did not have any day trades available when I started the day, but this is only possible with options. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to literally day trade as much as you want, as many times as you want, and that is not recommended. Don't go day trading crazy, but for certain opportunities like what I seen today in Peloton, this strategy can work extremely well. So I'll be going over this strategy with you guys, and hopefully you get some knowledge out of the video that maybe you did not know before the video. And if you did, hit that like button for me for all the knowledge that we are able to spread on this channel. I do greatly appreciate it, and hopefully we can teach even more people. Now, getting right into it, the news is Peloton recalls all treadmills after a child's death and 7 injuries, and I'm not downplaying this at all. This needed to happen when it first came out that a child had passed away because of this and all the injuries count that had been announced about a month ago. They should have started recalling vehicles then, but for obvious reasons, money reasons, they did not. So that being said, let's get into it. Peloton recalled its Tread Plus and Tread Mills Wednesday, and the company admitted it was wrong to fight the Consumer Product Safety Commission's request that it do so. About 125,000 treadmills are included in the recall. The CPSC said that there has been 1 child death and 70 other injuries tied to the treadmills, but when the Federal Safety Agency issued a warning about the dangers last month, Peloton took the unusual step of refusing to recall them. In quotes, "I want to be clear, Peloton made a mistake in our initial response to the CPSC's request," said Peloton CEO John Foley. "We should have engaged more proactively with them from the onset. For that, I apologize." In a statement, CPSC's acting chairman Robert Adler said that the announcement was the result of, in quote, "weeks of intense negotiation and effort accumulating into a cooperative agreement that I believe serves the best interests of Peloton and its consumers." Wednesday's recall covers the $4,295 Tread Plus, as well as the Peloton's cheaper Tread, which costs $2,495. That machine hasn't yet been released in the United States. Peloton pulled both machines off its website Wednesday. So it looks like to me they are completely done selling these treadmills for a foreseeable future. I don't see this coming back in at least a couple of months or a year or two at the minimum. So that is going to have a huge negative impact on Peloton's business, as well as the publicity behind this is obviously not good. If you have kids or pets or anything like that, because it does say pets as well, you should consider actually sending these back for a recall, because this is a voluntary recall. So you don't have to send these back, but you will get a full refund if you do. So that is obviously not good for Peloton. But like I said, even if you have kids or pets, you're probably not going to be as willing to buy a Peloton product into the future. So I do think this will have a huge negative impact on Peloton as a business, and obviously as on the stock, because that is the business. Basically, the stock is the business. You're buying the business when you buy the stock, but it doesn't always correlate, right? The stock can be more expensive and the business is not worth as much, or vice versa. So the reversal comes more than 2 weeks after the U.S. agency issued an urgent warning for users of the machine. At the time, the CPSC said it was aware of at least 39 accidents involving the treadmill, including multiple reports of children being entrapped, pinned, and pulled under the device. The CPS released a video showing a small child playing with a powered treadmill while it lifts off the ground and the child becomes pinned under it. And that is what is right here. And I'm not going to play the video, but you guys can check this out for yourself. I have watched most of the video. I didn't watch the whole thing just because I don't like to see that kind of thing. But if you guys want to read the whole article, feel free to check this out. Link in the description. Peloton refuted the agency, saying at the time its warning was inaccurate and misleading. In a stark reversal, fully admitted Wednesday that the decision was a mistake. Said Peloton will work with the CPSC to, in quote, set new industry safety standards for treadmills because the company has a desire and responsibility to be an industry leader in product safety. In a response, Consumer Reports said the recall is welcome news, but the delay left customers in danger. Blah, blah, blah. Shares of Peloton hit a 7-month low, falling 12% on the news. The company reports earnings Thursday afternoon. And that is what is very, very much interesting about this, the fact that they actually decided to recall such a large number of treadmills one day before earnings. They literally report earnings tomorrow after hours. So this could have a huge negative impact on the stock. Even if the numbers are good now, the stock market is a forward-looking instrument. So with this news is likely already being priced into Peloton's earnings, that is likely to cause the stock to go down, anticipating lower earnings next quarter. Before I show you guys my position and how I was able to day trade Peloton and keep an open position in this without actually being able to day trade Peloton, like I couldn't buy stock and sell it in a single day, but with options you can. I do want to show you the short volume ratio for today, and usually I do show this in contrast to a short squeeze and matters along that line, but in this case, if you are playing Peloton to the downside like I am, this can definitely help you. And we've seen a feeding frenzy among shorts today. It was at 24%, 20,170,000 shares being sold short on a total market volume of 84,884,000 shares. So this is extremely high, and compared to where we have been over the past 10 days or so, this is the highest point we have been at was today, and we basically only hit a low of almost 17%, and that was March 4th. Other than that, we have been at about the 24% range, 23 range, and basically around there, 19% at a low April 27th, but this is still highly elevated. And essentially, if you don't know, what shorts do is they sell the shares on the open market, and the more of them selling shares on the open market, agreeing to buy them back at a later date for a lower price than what they sold them for on the open market, it essentially they make the difference and pay a small fee to whoever let them do that in the first place. So that is essentially what happens when they are selling shares short, and that will drive the share price lower. Now what happens when a short squeeze is they do that until good news comes out, and in this case bad news is coming out, so it is exactly the opposite, but they do that until good news comes out, and then that forces them to buy the shares back and push the stock price up higher. But if we have no good news, and what I do think this is the case with Peloton, this will only continue to drive shares down lower. Now, as to the trade I made today, and like I said, I did day trade this. I opened and closed a position, but I was not able to actually close the same position that I bought because I did not have a day trade available. And let me show you exactly what I mean by this. I bought a Peloton May 14th expiration date, a $65 put for 62 cents, and we hit a high at 11:55 a.m. of $165. So this more than doubled, but I was not able to sell the option that I bought because that would be considered a day trade. Now, if you come to the option chain, you come to the same expiration as the one that you played. Obviously, on the put side, I bought a $65 call, like I said, for the amount that I said. And once this does start to shoot up, you can sell one that is further out the money. You'd click sell, like I did, and total credit $67 short put. And basically this is what you collect in cash. So if you are collecting more than what you paid for the closer to the money option, then you essentially get all of your money back plus profits, and have zero risk left on the trade, but you still have an open balance in the trade, and we will talk about that in 1 second. Now, if Peloton by May 14th closes under $60 per share, the max I can gain off this is $500. The difference between the $65 strike and the $60 strike. If Peloton closed at $40 per share, yeah, you'd make a lot more if you hadn't sold this $60 call, but since you did, you would only make $500, or since this represents 100 shares a piece, $5 would be $500. So for every $1, it is $100. And I sold this, so it's $5. $500 is my max reward or max profit on this trade. And essentially, it's risk-free. I have a $31 value left in this that I can close out tomorrow if I want to. That's the key. You can't completely close out of this position because you would have to basically buy the one you sold and sell the one that you bought. And I'll show you guys right now. You buy the one that you sold, sell the one that you bought, and then it comes up on Robinhood as a 2-option order. And essentially your total credit is what I just showed you, $31. Click continue, whatever, get filled, whatever you want to get filled at, and see, look, pattern day trade warning. So you cannot close out of this whole position. You can't take that extra $31, but you can reclaim all of the money you spent for your position. Keep a position in this in case Peloton continues to fall. Then your obvious difference between these strikes would keep increasing the more that Peloton fell, and essentially stay in the trade but get your money back and make your profit. Now, as far as earnings are concerned, earnings are tomorrow after hours. I do think they will be good but bad because of the recall for these treadmills, and they did offer a full refund on these, so they will have to give that money back once people start to refund these. And I do think there will be quite a bit of refunds. Not everybody obviously is going to refund all 125,000 of these, but a good amount of people may refund them. And now if we do pull this up to the 5-year chart, just some rough technicals right here. This level that you guys really need to watch, and this is where I think that we could go upon earnings tomorrow, is about the $65 level, the $64 level. So I don't expect to go under $60 per share in Peloton, but I do think we could even go to about the $58 or $55 mark. And usually we do some in-depth technical analysis on this, but I think it's pretty clear here Peloton is on a straight and obvious downtrend, and we really seen that today, dropping 16%. And even if we pull it out to the 1 year, they are still up 132.12%. So they do have more room to fall. And like I said, as far as a bottom, I do see it around the $64, $65 range. That is where we will probably get some more long-term investors buying into Peloton. But I think we could even go as low as $58 or $55 per share if earnings are bad, mixed with the fact that we do have all these recalls that are full cash refunds on these products. So I do think earnings will be negative, and we will definitely fall come earnings. That is why Peloton stock dropped so much today, and that is the trade that I made, essentially day trading Peloton as well as playing earnings tomorrow after hours. Now, if you guys got anything out of this video and you made it to the end, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could stay up to date with these videos as soon as I post them. It could make you a lot of money. And now, with that being said, I hope you guys are doing well. Your portfolios, I hope they will look better in the next following couple of months. Stay tuned to the channel. I will see you guys later. Take care.